Okay. Can y'all hear me? This thing on? Okay. All right. So thank you for joining me. I can't minimize Zoom. Okay. I'm gonna cast my screen to everybody. I got some people in the chat. Thanks. Rita. All right, let me share my screen. Share sound. Screen share. I think this morning I went through and made a whole new account on my computer so that you can't see anything confidential. So all right, so first thing I want to do is just talk about how my system is set up, like how I do account like clients. So, and I'll give you some tips. If you're on Zoom, just chime in. Rita, will you just unmute and say something that way I can make sure I have my sound working right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha. Thanks. All right, so what I want to do first is show you how I organize my um, clients. Anyone have Clio? I use Clio. Okay. All right. Well, with Clio, it automatically creates a folder for your clients when you create a new one. So, but I'll just show you how the system's set up. So, like, just say you have a folder and you name it clients. All right, and then I'll do a client for who's got the easiest name, Lynn Sanders. So now Lynn Sanders is going to be my first client for the law office of this. So under Lynn Sanders, she's got a will. All right, I'll name it in one will. We're going to do custody, Lynn. All right. So the first thing I do whenever I file e-file now, one of the things that crossed my mind was I don't want to accidentally upload something that is not supposed to be seen. So me and Nikki came up with this idea of we create a new folder called e-filing. And so in this main folder here, right? Okay. I didn't want to be screaming, but yeah, come on up. So in this e-filing, this one folder here that's custody for Lynn and her five children. Um, this is where I like keep everything here. So like I'd have the intake sheet scanned in. So we scan everything in. Just you bring it in, we scan it in. I might have some doc folders here that says like pictures or pleadings and stuff like that. But now with e-filing, I have a whole new folder. I name it e-filing, and I do three different folders. We just do it every time for each case. To submit, so we put in here like things that I'm about to file. That way, when I go looking for it, it's there. It's the only one there, and then I can just open it real quick and see if I'm not sending like pictures of someone's because that we have those cases. The next one is submit it because with this great system, once you submit it, you got to wait and you got to go back and check to make sure it got filed because they don't let you know. Apparently, Caroline said that the feature's there, but they turned it off because every time someone touched the file, every time someone looked at it, opened it, you get an email notification. So they're working on it. That's what she's heard. And then I got e-filed. So the third one is e-file. So the idea is that, to submit, once it's submitted, we move it into submit it. And then we checked on it and we learned that it's filed, we download it into e-file. And that way nothing's in submitted. That way to go back and check, did it get filed? Okay, it's still in submitted. Let me just check on it. Because if you don't have paper anymore, you don't have something to keep, oh, let me just put it in my stack of stuff to do. So this is like my way of virtually doing it. So that's just how I do it. All right. Any questions on that? So if you don't have like an electronic file for all your clients, incorporate it into your process somehow. It just really makes your life a lot more easier. Um, we can do it for everything because Clio does it automatically. Okay. So everyone here, I'm going to show you the questions on Zoom. Now I want to show you the rule that says we can do e-signing and how it's done. And I've showed some people. So right before this e-courts got implemented, the Supreme Court passed amendments for e-signing. So if you look on here, here's the amendment. So signing, this is 5.1, Rule 5 and 5.1. So it's underlined here. I didn't do this. This is just how it was amended. So signing a document electronically, a person who files a document electronically may sign the document electronically by typing his or her name in the document preceded by /s/. So you can do it this way, and I'll show you how super easy it is to do it this way instead of printing it, signing it, scanning it in. Or you can print it, sign it, scan it back in. Um, some more things that I read in the note. When filed, a document is filed when it is received by the court's electronic filing system. So technically, once you've submitted it, it's filed. So like if it's a deadline or if it's like a statute of limitations issue, even if it's rejected, it's considered filed when it's submitted. There's three here, only three ways that things can get rejected. Has anyone received an email from Shelley or anyone else saying, please request that we reject your document? Yeah, because they can't reject it unless you ask them. Andre, I figured it out. I did it my own way, the tickle way. But thank you. The only other two is if the court can't open it or if it's something that's not allowed to be processed. It's prohibited by statute, rule, or being filed with the court. Obviously, if it requires money, then you got to pay the money. Y'all hear me? Okay. So let's talk about how do you e-sign. So how I do it is I open up a Word document. I was showing Stacy some of the shortcuts that I do to like um, sign and like save time because that's I'm all about saving time. So like the rule said, no, oh, I have to accept it. I thought I already went through all this morning. All right, so open up a blank document. Come on, I did this already. So the rule says all you have to do to sign something is /s/ and type your name. Done, sign. The reason that /s/ is to indicate you are intentionally putting your name down. So now that I just signed this document. Well, like we as lawyers, we have our whole like, name, address, bar number, and stuff like that. And it can get kind of annoying to have to type this out every time. So I'll show you a shortcut. If you go to insert, make a table, just one box here, right click on that and do table properties, borders and shading. And I'm recording this on Zoom. I'm going to post it on YouTube and send the link so you guys can follow up. And we're going to make none so that border is invisible. So the border's gone. Then what I do is I go to table layout and I want to see the grid lines. So now I can see that table's there, but it's not going to show up on the final document. So click on that table. If you watch when I click on that table, I'll get two more options up here. Right here, table design and layout. You click on layout and you click view grid lines right there. That'll show you where you have a table. Now, I'm going to type in just like I would have it anywhere else. So I want to type my signature. Uh, this is the 17th day of June, 4, Law Office, LLC, by /s/. Lawrence Edward. And then what is it? What address, phone number, bar number, et cetera, et cetera. And then, we tend to want to put these towards the middle and make it look pretty. So, how do you get that ruler? If you go up here to view, show ruler right here. So now I got this. I want to move this to the center. And then I just want to move this over a little bit. So now I have a signature here that I can use over and over again. And what's that take you about 3 minutes to type that every time? It's annoying to me. So click on this little, I don't know what you would call that, a cross. So it highlights it all. Right click that. Click on that. So it highlights it all. Don't right click it. Go over to insert right here. And over here on the right, you see text box, quick parts, word art. Hit the quick parts button. It's a really fast computer. It's just running Chromecast and Zoom, so it's slow. Now, right here it says Save Selection to Quick Part Gallery. I'm gonna name this e-signature and hit OK. Next time I want to insert it, I'm done typing my little motion for custody for Lynn and her 5 kids. I just go over here um, to insert, go to the quick parts. Now there's this thing. Boom. It saves like 3 minutes. And so you can do anything. So you do your certificates of services, like say, you just do the exact same thing. And when you save it, just hit, you just type it certificate of service. It'll only be available on the computer that you use, but you can move it around. It's a little more advanced. But I've saved like certificates of services, notices of hearings. Um, there's a way if you look over here at insert up top right where it says date and time, you click on that. However you want the date to be. So say, and I figured it out a while ago. So 17th June 2024. I'm gonna insert that. This right here, if you do it like that, you can click this option update automatically. So you can save that. And I have it saved to where when I insert it, this part here updates automatically. So I don't even have to type that in.
So is that related to a calendar function on the computer that today is the 17th? If you go back to that to insert that tomorrow, it will automatically be 18th of June, and then 4th of July will come up as a correct date.
Yep, if you insert it on Christmas Day, and if you leave the document open overnight,
what is it that you do to get that function of calendar synchronized with that line that you say?
it just I'll do it. Let me do a template for you. So I'm gonna create a new box. Let's just do it in this one. And I'm going to insert, I'm going to insert top left, date and time. You see it?
Yeah.
Hit update automatically. Now, you see how it's like June 17th. We like to say this the 17th day of June 2024. I think we can do it like this. I'm going to put this the 17th day of June 2024. And I'm going to resave it. Okay, so crap. I tweaked my signature. Let me go back and resave it. So all I gotta do is figure out what I named it before. So e-signature. Highlight it again. Quick Parts top right where it says Save Selection to Quick Part Gallery. And I'm just going to rename it again, e-signature. And when I do that, hit OK, it's going to say, do you make changes? Do you want to redefine this entry? So yes. So now I go back down here and I do Quick Parts and I click on it. And there it is. I didn't keep that day of June. What I'll do is I'll figure out how I did it. So I have mine saved as a quick part, and if y'all are interested in doing that, I'll just send you like a Word document with it saved in there. So, and then to save you even more time, and this will lead me into my that's super annoying. This is Zoom toolbar. It'll lead me into my next part. So let's see. Go to here, up top left, that little drop down bar right there. Scroll down to more commands. Right here where it says popular commands, you want to make it say all commands. That way you can see all of them. Otherwise, it's not going to let you um, see quick parts because not a lot of people use quick parts. Let it load up, go down to quick parts. Right there. Add it. Click add. Okay. Now there's my quick parts there. So instead of having to go to insert, scroll all the way here to quick parts, all I gotta do is hit that. Boom. We just e-signed it. Questions? Y'all following me? Okay. No. So now we finished the document. We filed a complaint for cut. We got a complaint for custody. How do we save it? How do we turn this to a PDF without having to print it, sign it, and scan it back in? Super easy. You want to save as. So this here, this little floppy disk, you hit save. It asks you where you want to save it. So I'm going to save it in Lens. So desktop, clients, Lynn Sanders. I'm not putting this in. This is not ready to be filed, so it's going to be in her regular folder. So I'm going to just put a complaint for custody. I always add the date. Like if it's my first draft, I'll put version V1 and the date. That way, like I send to some of our clients who we have to go back 4 or 5 times. I know, when we're ready, and I don't have to keep looking to see which one was tweaked. So now it's saved. Just to show you, I'll close it. Now, if anytime you make changes to your quick parts or those templates, when you close it, you have to save it. It's going to ask you specifically, do you want to save these building blocks? Because if you don't, then it's not going to save it to your computer. So hit save. Now I'm going to go back in the Lens file. Complaint for custody. Here we go. And I personally, I don't like this. I don't like going through the save feature like this when it comes up with all of this stuff. To me, it's just too much buzz in my head. So I like to hit more options and bring this up. This is like the old school way. So now I want to turn this into a PDF. You have to save as. So file, save as. Where do you want to save it as? So we're going to save this in the e-filing to submit. All you have to do is below the name, drop down box, PDF. Here, you have the option here, open file after publishing. I uncheck that. That way it doesn't automatically open. And then there's options here. So you can select to, just like with a regular printer, you can select to print certain pages. Just like with a printer, there's other things that I don't really read about. All this care about the pages, but the big thing is uncheck open file after publishing and making the PDF. And you have other options too here. You can do it, turn it into other things, but the big one's PDF. So it's going to ask me where I want to save it. I saved it into that folder. Boom. It's now a PDF. E-filing to submit complaint for custody. Now let's open it. I use this old school Adobe Acrobat, so but I'm going to show you in different ways. So there it is. It's Esign. You can file this now. Or so you can do it that way. So that's what the difference between Microsoft Word and a PDF viewer is a PDF viewer is meant to just look at images. It's not meant to be a textable document, even though you can have form fields like AOC forms. So Word, you have a lot more control, but are some things you can do inside of a PDF that you can change some words. So in this PDF viewer, you're thinking, if I want to just say I want to put a form field here. This is just something I have in my system. I can add a form right here, and I can just name it e-signature. I can just type in /s/ and type my name. But you don't have to do it that way because there's also, I'm not going to say that. You can open this up in Firefox. And in Firefox, it has a text feature. So say that the signature line was here above where I want to put my signatures right above here. It's I don't know, an AOC form that doesn't have a form field so you can type. So you can just open it up in Chrome, Firefox, or whatever Microsoft says. Hit the text button, put your cursor where you want to sign. All you have to do is now just save it. So in this one, you got to download it. And I'm going to save it version 2. I'll go back to Lens folder. Where did it save it to? Let's figure out. Download it. I didn't navigate. Okay. Now if I go back to her folder, there it is, signed right there. You can move it around a little bit. And then Chrome has its own version. Open it in Chrome, and then there's a text button. I thought there was. I know yours has it. Stacy, y'all use Chrome, right? There's like usually a text button where you can hit texts. Anyways, it's there somewhere, but for some reason not on this one. Then there's Microsoft Edge. Does everyone have a PDF viewer that they prefer? The free one? Yeah. That one has a text type. I think it's called typewriter in Adobe. So in mine's old. So um, the new one you have to like pay a subscription fee and whatnot. So in this one, I just go to Tools, Typewriter, and it gives me the same thing. All right, so now let's say that and then to save time on the Save As feature, so going back to here, we have to Save As and turn it into a PDF. But to save time, if you go back up here to this drop down box where we did the quick parts and just find, see, saves checked, but save as isn't. So let's go to more commands. And this one should be there under popular. So I want to move save as over. It's always add it because these are the ones that are going to show up here. Hit OK. And there we go. Save as there. It's the same one. It's a floppy disk with a pencil in front of it. And all I have to do is click save as and it brings up that dialog box. Just change it to PDF. So now we have a doc complaint for custody that we're ready to file. Are you looking for a court? Oh, for e-training? Okay. Oh, hello. All right, so now let's e-file something. So e-file, log in, and I'll show you some stuff that we've learned. The most important is how to file for secure leave. Has anyone filed for secure leave on here yet? All right,
Yep,
so
I just did.
what?
I said I just did yesterday or last night.
You did yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to do e-filing. Got to do Franklin County. So obviously district court and then case number. So this is a complaint. So we got to actually do start a new filing, file a new case. Pete, have you ever looked at this website yet? Okay. Do you have an account? Okay. So location, Franklin. So just start typing and then go to district court, family, civil family, juvenile, probate, or mental health. So family, case type. It's going to be. Are you getting divorced this time, or just custody? Okay. The yeah. Okay. So so you have to click with or without divorce. I guess because the price. So we're going to do with a divorce, and then click next. And then starts your whole process of adding party details. So Lynn, this is how I do. I do Lynn. I do just do the only whatever's required. So Lynn Sanders. I don't know why it does that. I don't put none of this stuff in. And then if you have an account, it should just pop up and your name should be there already or whoever the lawyer is that you're working for and save that part. I don't worry about putting any of the contact information, like that in there because I've not once used it. And then the system's so slow as it is. And you can't add a lawyer for the defendant. So even if you know that he's got a lawyer, you can't. They have to add themselves. So, what's your husband's name or your future ex's name? Jamie. I'm not gonna. I'm not. Yeah. What's his social? Oh, actually, you can put, but I'm not gonna be his lawyer. Can I get this thing to go away? All right. So now filings. So Add a filing code. This is where I think they could use a little more. One of the main places they could use a little more thought. But after divorce, filing description, complaint or divorce, and custody. I don't put anything in reference number. Comments to court. This is like your text message. The clerks are going to see this, so you can say if you're doing a FTA strike, you could put in there, please assign to any judge, please assign to Adam Keith. Please let me know if you need anything. Okay. So there's no need to put a comment in there for complaint. Select file. So you can click this button and go over to e-filing and just go there. Or you can, if you already have it open in your e-filing, you can click it and drag it. Either way. To me, if it's already open, just drag it over because now you don't have to keep navigating to it. So for the most part, everything's public unless it's not, like if it's a JV case or a mental health case. So I'm going to click public, and let's just go through the redaction feature. Has anyone used the redaction feature? So it's pretty good. It just takes a while. So let's hit auto redact. While that's loading, the last week Nikki had a problem with a petition for an expunction, and she kept hitting auto redact at the top right. It kept having an error. So she she went and redacted it on a PDF and then submitted it. And then Judge Davis signed it, and then Jenny kicked it back. And said we need one that's redacted through the system. So she asked me for help. So I figured it out. There was something with that PDF that was making it like not job. So all I did was I opened up the one that we submitted, and to like clear it out and make sure everything was just flat, like just paper, and there's like no like pictures or anything on it. I hit print, and up here you have this option, Microsoft Print to PDF, and I just reprinted it to itself, and I put a P in the back of it, so I knew that was the one that I printed. And I just put a P here. That way I knew that it's the same one. I didn't want to overwrite the one I had in case I needed it later. And then when we did it that way, it went through. And then Jenny sent it back and said, "Don't redact it at all." And Nikki said, "Are you sure we have to certify we redacted all that information?" And she's like, "Just send it." So I forwarded it to Shelly, and Shelly's like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of confusing. Um, just hit not public, not portals." So everything. Well, the Word documents is not getting filed. So whenever this here, if I were to submit it and pay your filing fee, it's going to be for imagine the clerk's file, right? It's going to be like as if you went to the clerk's office, handed them the complaint, they gave you everything that there, and then it's in the paper file. The Word document is only uploaded when you're proposing a judgment. That's as if you're coming to the courtroom and saying, "Hey, judge, here's my proposed order." And then if you need me to email you the Word document, so that's not for the file yet. Well, yeah, but it sometimes catches more than it's supposed to. It'll like I did a annual accounting for someone, and it was 180 pages, and it took me 30 minutes to go through and edit and make sure that it had everything, and I submitted it, and instead of sending like the filing and then all the attachments like separately, I put them on one document, and Shelly said, "Send them as separate attachments." I said to Shelly, "It took me over 30 minutes to do this, Is there any way we can avoid that?
I'm not listening on redacted anything like that. Like, I never.
Well, Nikki called help desk. So she asked us to reject it. I didn't request the rejection because I was hoping that there was gonna. I was like, unless I say reject it, she can't reject it. So, um, Nikki called the help desk, and then they showed us a cool feature. You can duplicate an envelope. So it just duplicated it. I was hoping that we could just save it back down, and then I could just extract it out, but I couldn't. So Nikki went through and did it for me, and then I just followed behind her. So,
Pro can't extract that. We ran in all those bumps with bankruptcy, so that's why we ended up with Pro. So I don't think, like, if in your case, in fact, I have a problem with it. Summons the complaint,
yeah,
everything, and when I have to pull it out. So in Pro, you can't do that shit.
yeah, I have that feature in my old version that I have, this one here, which is cool because you can just like extract out, save it, and stuff like that. Um, I also have a thing that you can flatten things, which means just turn everything, you know, take away all the form fields and it's just printed on paper. Okay. So we go back to the redaction. So once you've hit auto redact, you have to still go through and check on it. Okay. So you have to hit edit redactions. If you have this problem, it's because you have to give it always allow pop-ups. This part's a little slow. So actually the whole system is pretty much slow, but all right, so I'm gonna click this button here, fit to window, so I can see the whole screen, and then I can zoom in. So I'm looking to see if there's any redactions, and I'm not seeing any, so it didn't catch any personal whatever information. But let's just say that this number here is one, the 65 465 that I randomly typed in there. That's to say that's the social security number. So you have a few options. So let's highlight it, right click it, redact. All right. So when it's done through the system, the clerks are supposed to be able to see it. They can uncover it. That Pepe guy, Pepe, the guy that was here, he had to show them how to do it. And they were like, we can't see anything. So we had to show them to go to a different screen. Um, so you have that. So, but not everything that you redact is going to be like easy to scan like that. There's sometimes like bank statements, it was like it wasn't catching everything. So if you click right here and click redact area, it'll let you have this thing so you can drag. And then, so now that whole area is redacted. If you need to delete some because for some reason the system will, on every page of a bank statement, read the date as a social security number and it'll redact it. You have to right click on it and click delete, and it's going to ask you, are you sure? I found an easier way. If you right click and cut, right click and cut, right click and cut. So that way you don't have to keep hitting, yes, I'm sure, yes, I'm sure, yes, I'm sure. And then another cool thing is if it's got one there, but I don't want that one to be redacted. I want it to be over here. If I click on it, I can move it. I can readjust it. And that saves you some time from having to and all you have to do is to get there is just up here at the top left, go from redact area where you have this cross. So you can't select it with that cross, just uncheck that redact area. Now I can click it and move it. Okay. So now once you're done, you just save it and close. Now we're back over here. courtesy copies, paralegal, put your paralegal there or your lawyers. Your lawyer will, so say you are the paralegal, uh, put your email there because as we've all figured out that your paralegal account sucks. You can't do nothing. So I just let Nikki use my account and so just type in your email address. Add additional services here. So I'm gonna pretend this is a list pendants or a lien. You have to add additional services and you have to go down to, well, it won't have this option for you because we're not in that version, that part of the system, but it will have like fees. So if you do a lien, you have to go in there and click add additional services and you have to put how many pages there are. So it can charge you the $6 plus 25 cents. Because otherwise it won't, the system is so great, it can't figure it out on its own. So now what's happened here is I canceled, so it's saying error here. There's incomplete things. So I'm going to go back to the edit filing code. I screwed that one up, so I had to go back here. I do it all over again. Complaint. And divorce. If you're in courtroom, you could say if well, I'll do a proposed judgment for you too. So we're gonna have that there. I'm not gonna go through the redaction part, but all you do is click auto redact. Then it's gonna once it's done, it's gonna say edit redaction. It's gonna pop you up. Communication, security, public. Put your email there. Save. All right. So there's no red arrow, red hazard, whatever. Next, you can go to service, but I'm going to be honest with you. Rule 5 under the rules of civil procedure says you can serve this way, or you can serve by email. I don't trust this system to serve someone and then they'll see it and then me be able to find proof that I served you. Like, yeah, I served you. I'm here. My clients travel from Minnesota to come do. Oh, we didn't know. So I skipped that part and I skipped the fees and then payment account. I use credit cards. I don't trust that system to have access to my bank. And then I just eat the fees and whatever. It's cost. I charge enough money. And then here you gotta, say that you redacted it. And then you gotta scroll down. It's gotta calculate the fees again. There's an error occurred. One or more errors occurred. Okay. I wish they would tell me the error. Oh, I gotta select the responsible party. So at this point, you can it's like submitting your order on Amazon. Another one. Failure reason one or more errors occurred. Multiple filing components not allowed for the code. Okay. So let's see where we went wrong. I mean, we know where we went wrong was when we signed up for this system involuntarily. Okay, so now we've gone back. I see there's a hazard sign there, so that's probably where our problem is. Edit it. So the problem was it did actually save two copies. Let me keep the original and remove the second one. The reason I can tell that this is the second one is because we redacted the first. And so if you see here, this one has the P behind it. And so that helps me see too. So I'm going to remove the second one, put my code public, save it. Now, skip the fees. Sorry, done. Summary. Hopefully we did it right this time. Don't check this box if you haven't checked, because I think you can get in serious trouble with the bar. Always check and make sure. And that's why I have it here, that two files. So I always will check before I upload it. Is this the actual thing I want to upload? Just my credit card. My operating account's there from where I originally did it, but I have not paid one thing out of the operating.
It's not access to our. And we're gonna do that money again.
You're going to click submit though, right? I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to.
Don't do it today. I might want you tomorrow.
And then under filing. So if you're doing your complaint, right, you got to do your summons. So you go add a filing and then you go down to civil summons. And another thing that you can do, which sometimes works, let's just type in summons, start typing in summons, and if it's there, it usually will bring it to you. That way it can save some time. So there's your summons. I'm going to cancel. Let's pretend I went through all this stuff all over again. With the summons, you don't have to sign anything, right? So let me just teach you that part. So I got a summons over here. Um, let's just call this one summons. And in your summons, you don't have to sign anything. So you just fill it out. Have you all done a summons? Have you done summons? You don't do much plaintiff's work, do you?
0.
Pete, would you like to see how to do a summons? Okay. You got to go to you got to pull the file down, right? The AOC file. So um, we go to what's that word? The top here. Pete, are you familiar with this website? It forms. Have you ever looked for a form on the internet right here? Okay. So just type over here summons and civil summons. So once I've downloaded one of these, y'all, I save it as a template. So because you got to type in your all that your stuff. So let's just save it as a template on my desktop. Templates. Civil summonses. So like you have summonses for this stuff, you have summonses for small claims court. I'm just going to name this one civil summons, and I'll put today's date. That way, I know, you know, how long ago it was I did it. All right, so now it's over there. I'm going to go to that desktop to my templates, civil summons. I'm going to open it here, and then I'm going to just pretend like I typed everything in there. Um, but lawyer down here, take a law office, etc. You don't have to do anything but put that stuff in there, right? So you fill in this part, fill in this part. Don't put anything here because the system's going to automatically give it a number. Check district. You got your ad name and address, name and address. That's it. That's all you do for your part here. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to copy it from from my templates over to Lynn's folder. And this is going to be to file, to submit. And one cool thing that I found out is that you don't have these highlighted fields here. They go away. Once you submit it, the system takes them away. So you don't have to worry about printing these or anything. So I've got my summons here, and I'm going to go to back to e-filings, select file. I just put that there, so I mean, I don't really got to check it. It's up there. File and description, just type in summons. Whatever you type in here is what's going to show up in Portal. when you look for the PDF to download, have y'all done that yet? Whatever you type in there is what's going to show up. So if you typed in purple-headed like rainbow monster, that's what's going to show up on the portal. So upload your documents, public, auto redact, but you really don't have to do that for summons, email, etc. So we're gonna save it, and then you got to do your cover sheet. So you do add more cover sheet, etc., etc. So let's say also that you're filing emergency custody, Lynn. You're filing for an emergency custody, ex parte. Okay. So now we want to submit a proposed order. We're going to submit a proposed order too at the same time. So to do a propose. So type in proposed order judgment. Okay. Have y'all done that? Okay. And then I just type in propose, ex parte or comments to the court. Say that, Caroline's in here. Just say, please task to Caroline or Judge. I'll say Judge Caroline. Say that, huh?
So I sure wish we'd get alerted,
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they'll text you, I mean, it's ex parte, so you can text the judge, say, hey, I sent you an order. Will you let me know when you sign it? And then this is the one where you're typing in, you're going to upload your PDF and you're going to upload your Word document. So if they want to make changes to it, they can download it and change it. I don't know if they have to download it, but they can make changes to it in the system. And then submit. Now, that took a while, right? Just to get all that ready. Let's say, let me show you some shortcuts. So I'm going to delete that draft. So in your main box here, you got drafts right here. So I'm going to go to view my drafts. I'm going to delete it. You have this little option for actions to delete draft. If you, on the home screen, instead of clicking on start filing, if you open up this and you go to templates, has anyone tinkered with the templates? Charles, have you dabbled in the templates?
No.
I've got a few templates here. So let me show you how much time you can save with the templates. So I have one that's just called basic. And if you just drop down, edit it that way. So if you want to start you have to create a new, say I want to start a new case. So district court case with cover sheet. I named it that. That's because, you know, that's how I'm going to use it. So if it's a new case, you see this folder here, it says use that template. So if I click on use template, it's going to have all this stuff already filled in, right? So I don't have to go through and check in it. So go to parties. You still have to do your parties, but now I've got two people already added. So I have to go and hit new, add. You still got to go and type in their names and stuff. And then you still have to, oh no, you don't. For the plaintiff, it's already got your name done. So save it. So I'm going to cancel that. And let's go to, I guess I have to do some more stuff. Lynn, you want your maiden name back? And then
I'm starting to sell them, everything else is okay.
no, Jamie Sanders. So, the system knows you have to have two parties, right? So filing, No, so there's a new complaint. All these three in that template are already done. So all you have to do is go through and just upload and do your coding. You don't have to do add more. And then the coolest thing I like about it is at the bottom here, courtesy copies, it's already in there. So Nikki's email is already in there, so you don't have to sit there and type in. So Jennifer, what's your email? It's like jturksberry jst dot l dot at gmail.com. Yeah, so it's already there. So how do we do this? How do we do a template? You just click on the templates tab there and add template. So we have one that's called basic, and this basic is filing into a case, so it doesn't have this option here to use it now. I have to file into a case with it. So all I did was I just did add a template. Let's just name it, new divorce case with custody. Edit detail. My lawyer said I get everything. So you just go through the template and you just set everything the way you want it. If you practice in multiple counties, then you can have a template for Franklin child custody or Granville child custody. That way, when you're starting a new case, and Charles, you do criminal and multiple, okay, but the multiple cases, right? So you got to do general motions to withdraw and stuff. So you can, set yours up the same way so that you have motion to fee sheets. You don't do fee sheets here though in criminal. So, but motions to suppress, motions to continue, general appearances, and things like that. Any questions on that? That you have to tinker with. If you've already filed in the system, then you can pretty much set that up. Just remember that if you set it in there, it's going to pop up that way every time. So if you find yourself like making variations, then make a second template for that variation. And if you need to change it, you just click on the pencil here. So edit details. Now let's say, and you can click favorites. So these will be at the top. Let's say you want to file into a case. So start filing. And another thing, if you go over here to view filing history, you can get there somewhat simpler. Let's see. There's Carter. If I want to file a motion to withdraw, because they get too crazy. And then I can do file into case with template. Then it'll pop up and it'll ask me which template do you want to use. So like basic is just going to be just all that crap that you have to keep checking every time, like which card you're going to use. Nikki's email address is already there. Yeah, and then so when you've used it, I've done this 45 times this week, and I'm going to be doing this 45 times every week. I'm going to make a template just for this. You create it. So let's say that you want to create one. Yeah. Well, since I'm going to go through this process right now, and I know I'm going to do it again, I'm going to go create one. You just go here to templates, add template. And now whatever it was that you're doing, it's pretty specific, like motion to suppress, because you got to put your affidavit and everything in there. Motion to suppress Franklin County Superior Court. That way it's going to have an affidavit. Yeah. Yeah. And it'll pre-fill which account to choose from.
Yeah.
Mhm. But as far as serving, I just email it. So now back to the dashboard drafts. Now you can bookmark cases. So let's just say, see one I bookmarked already. Jennifer. So let's say Lynn's case is not up here, but if you see one that you want, there's Scoggins. Actions bookmark it. So now it's going to be on your front page under bookmark. So now you don't have to go and why? Because of PTSD. But this saves you. This saves so much time though, because you don't have to keep searching for the case. You don't have to go into start filing to new case.
I'll go into the portal and I'll put my case number in the portal, because that's where I'm gonna have the signed documents anyway.
Right.
I'll go back here and check for my cases,
You can't.
file.
Yeah, you have to go to the portal to check for the filing, but the next time you file something, you have to go in here and hit Franklin County. You can, but what if it's been 2 or 3 weeks? Yeah. Yeah, so you can go to filing history, or if there's the cases that you frequently are filing in, you just click in it, actions, file into case.
That are steady annoying ones, I'm not gonna look at them.
Yeah, but well, the cool thing is it's at the bottom,
Yeah.
and so you have access to your templates over here and stuff like that. So let's say the court rejects the case. Say the report says Shelley says please reject, because by the way, this new e-filing system, everything's digital except we've e-filed an adoption petition, and we were asked to please reject asked to be rejected because only the petition can be electronic. Everything else is in paper. So this one was probably, let's find one that was rejected. That one should be rejected. I'm going to show you how to duplicate. E-filing history. Looking for rejected. There we go, rejected. Rejected. This one was a petition for adoption that I submitted electronically and paper just so that you could have it. And please reject. So copy envelope. So you don't have to go all the way back through it. So just copy the envelope and it's just going to copy everything you've already done, which will save you some time. Now portal. Portal sucks too. But do y'all sign in when y'all go to portal or just go in? I sign into it because I hate answering the robot questions. I can never get them right. So I always sign in. They don't let you sign in for 8 minutes though. And Pete, you don't do much in court stuff anymore, right? Okay. Lynn, have you figured out how to do the dockets? Right. Well, what we refer to as the count.
But it's hit on this one or this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone know how to do that? Anyone, if you are on Zoom, do you need me to go through that?
See there, the prosecutor down there and the third there. Is there one for us to see it?
Only if you're in with the public defender's office. Public defender's office.
It is complete crap. It is hidden miss as to whether I bring as a correct public.
The only way they could do that is if they duplicate one of their screens to us. Because
number such and such. It's not number such and such because.
Right.
Because 1 through 3 have already been done, so now 4 is now number 1.
Well, Caroline, I asked Caroline about that, and she said, what, at least in civil court, she says that a checkbox.
I find it impossible to plan ahead. You can't. It's hit and miss. Period.
Can't see, which 9 times out of 10 that has something on it that one of us need.
Right, right.
I was thinking about writing a letter to Justice Newby and having everyone sign it. As much lawyers I get sign it, that just says, please ask them to figure out this calendar issue.
Well, I don't know about you, but yeah.
Whether it's criminal or civil, we should be able to see the active calendar as they're
Sure.
continuing it, dismissing it, whatever.
Yeah.
We should have access to that.
I think that it's ex parte communication, but I'm just me.
The counter side of this thing is what frustrates me to the hell with it.
Well,
Because unless I get it right, the time before, I cannot tell you whether I've got what I need ready next session. Can't, because you're going, I don't know about you, but I always organize my files by number.
yeah.
Right, for joke.
Now I just do it alphabetically.
Always by alphabet. Come on. Are you kidding me? By case number? No.
So let's check on the order. I had several custody trials last week. So let's check on Lynn. Let's check on Miles. Ildefonso. So you have a few options. So you can search by your client's name, or if you know the file number. And to reduce your amount that comes in, you can do advanced filtering and just change the location. Can you imagine doing this when every single county is in the system? How much scrolling it's going to be? Here we go. Yeah, so Larry and I had a trial on Thursday. And so if you scroll down, you can see there's a spot here for order, but the PDF's not there. So I asked Michelle about that. And she said that's because she put that event in there for when the order is submitted. She put that event there for when the order is submitted.
PDF sign, if it had been done.
Yeah. She said it'll be done this week.
It's a set in by part, then it completely disappears. And it stays gone until, and the judge ever signs it and stuff like that.
Right.
But you don't ever know. Right, say that.
You know that.
Got it. Yep.
I'm clearing out a bunch of junk that are just district court cases where the people have fallen off the twig and I have no idea where they're at. We've been filing a bunch of these motions to withdraw and the order that goes along with it. And I'm not going to spend 30 seconds on trying to find out when and if an order is filed. I'm just assuming that 2 days later it's done. I move on.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm just not going to try to go back and find them. I'm just not.
Well, we submitted an order to. Do you want some like tips on how to better handle that? I mean, I can't make it I can't fix it.
Kind of like your pre-proposed, the step is the submission and then things other attorneys have sent us. And I'm just, for the accepted ones, I'm just going through that and checking them to see if they've been uploaded.
Yeah. Or I mean, you can do that, or just a pen and paper. Just write down the file number and the date that you submitted it, and then daily just check as you find them, just check them off. And that way the file number's there. So when you go in the portal, you just type file number in.
That's just one side, like a split page in half. One side is waiting for the signature, waiting to be accepted, or like file, and I'll just write the file number, the case number, and then in parentheses, like the client's last name. And then, but it still is a checking and a waiting game back and forth with the portal, and then when it's done, I'll throw that out.
To be fair, it was like.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. So it's a different. It's different than what we're used to, but we've always made it on order.
I'd have to send Nikki over to check the file, right? Sometimes the clerks would put a custody order in your file. Sometimes they wouldn't, and you'd have to go check the file. So,
Calendar is the worst part.
Not far away.
so let's say that
Far away.
you go in here and you find the order, right? So let's say that what Nikki's going to do is she's going to check it. Say she sees it, she's going to download it. She's going to email you a copy, and then she's going to do a certificate of service. And so I'll assume that most people are going to do that. That way we have certificate of service. Because Rule 5 is still there. You still have to serve it. It has to be served unless the clerk does it. But usually, so you've submitted your order. This one here, Caroline's going to actually draft. So more than likely, Michelle's going to may do a certificate of service that says served on lawyers. But with the new system, I don't know. It used to be that's what they would do. But Nikki's going to check it just like you're going to check it, right? And she's going to, okay, well, she's going to download it and just do it as if she were serving you, and she's going to email it to you. So we had yeah. It's like Thursday, Ed and I had a summary judgment for divorce that he was contesting, and Caroline said she'd have the decision made that day. The next morning, it was there. Nikki downloaded it, emailed it, did a certificate of service, and so, which brings me to my next point. This reminds me of the movie The Waterboy. We have a folder. So in my office, everything's on a network, so we can share folders. So I don't know how y'all could, if y'all don't have it the way I have it set up, you could, if this will work for you. But we have a folder that we share called for review. So I'm just going to put it here. So yeah, I think so. Maybe do you have for review? So and then Nikki created this piece of paper. On one side it says for review, on the other side it says reviewed, and it's in a document protector. So she puts it on I have like a table by my office that for her she lays things for me to look at to review. And if there's something in there to review, she just leaves that there, and I take it to my desk, and I come in here and I look at it and say it's something. I just sign it electronically, move it into reviewed, and give her back that piece of paper instead of having to print and sign. In the Water Boy, I said, which brings me to my next point. Lawrence Taylor says, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack. He's like, what gives you all that motivation? He's like, what gives you all that fire? He's like, well, first I see the quarterback and he's got the football, and I see the football, and I visualize the football, and then he's like, brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack. Vicky Valancourt. Okay. Let me check my itinerary to see what else I was going to cover. I just got an email from AOC that says notice of filing in case, and I clicked on the PDF, and it was the case that I have. I wonder if they turn that setting on. That was my first thought. I was thinking, crap, did I just submit that divorce?
And I got an email saying that it's the submission.
No, I got a notice that somebody filed something in the case. Well, I never had that before, and this is what we want. Yeah, I got one. Ooh, it's signed by Michelle. So I wonder if yeah. Let's see. What was my
I just think one woman that fell for has got that figured out, but they can't do that.
That makes sense. So,
Actually.
I'm just trying to find my email so I can make sure. All right, I covered PDF conversions, signed stuff on Word, creating templates. I think I covered everything I said I was going to cover. Any questions? Any questions? He showed up on Friday with his laptop. Is this what I need?
Pro se, living in some city and they don't know how to do all this stuff before, they do like, they still get filed.
Yeah, so they pay for over there and.
So maybe.
They I think they can create an account too, because when we were in court on Wednesday, one of the out of county lawyers stood up for a case and there was a new filing for contempt that was filed pro se electronically. So I think you can create an account.
Well, there was an email that sent a while ago saying that they're gonna make little kiosks for the public eventually in the counties that have gone live. So the public.
they don't have to do it. Yeah. So it's gonna end up looking like a sheet where nobody knows how to do the electronic, but there are 5 people out there. No, no.
In the group that I'm in, the NC Courts, NC Criminal Defense Bar, they had the kiosk open the first day and it put out of order on it. Oh, and that scanner over there, I put that there for us. So if you can use it, it's the same scanner. Yeah, it's the same scanner as this one. You just have to install your software. So, and it's fast. You just scan it face down, and top up. And you just have to, it takes about 20 minutes to install the software. So Lacey, you need to put that on Sue's laptop. Any things you guys want to, oh yeah, let's do secure leave. That's the most important. All right, so start filing, file a new case. I'm gonna do it with a template. No, I'm not, because it's so you're gonna do what?
I, that's good, I heard you say secure leak, but secure leak, and then you started going into new filings and just getting, I was like, wait, what?
ADHD. Yeah, you have to do secure leave. You have to file like a new case. So in R, I think it's different in every county, wherever however they have it set up. I had to go through each one of these to find it, but it's you think it'd be under Clerk of Superior Court, but it's under Franklin District Court unless they've moved it. So category. Maybe they moved it. Let's see. Franklin Clerk of Court, and we're looking for R's or there may be a secure. I've done it twice. Uh-oh. This is what I can't understand about this state-of-the-art system that it gets caught up switching between things. I think it's district court, civil. They should have got Facebook to design this system. All right, so now case type registration right here.
Registration?
Yeah, it's when you file securely, it goes into the registration. So when you get it back, it always says R.
Registration.
Never asked.
So you're the party. And I don't know why this may be something to do with my browser that it automatically fills this stuff in. And I'm the lawyer. I don't think you have to do that. And then you just file your securely and everything else is the same. Any questions? Anything that y'all want me to do to show you something, or you want me to go back and do the Word document thing again? Any questions from Zoom? I'll check the chat. Read bounced. Any questions from you, Crystal or Lacey? All right. With that being said, we're done.
Thanks.
All right. So during the meeting, I was talking about how to insert the date. So I'm learning it right now, relearning it. So let me share my screen and we'll do it together. Okay. So this is saying to do a date, just your regular date. You want to use this bracket sign and put this in there. So let's see. I'm back over here on this side. Bracket sign is next to your P. Do bracket sign, date, space, backslash, at. And then I'm going to do just the day. So let's just do day. Close quotes, close bracket. Enter. That didn't do anything. Let's see. We're going to add the month, year, for example, so type the following inside the braces. To add a custom date field to your document, press Control plus F9. So let's see, Control and F9. Oh, here we go. So now type in date space backslash A space ED. Yeah. Now hit update. Oh, yeah, perfect. So I wonder if I put how do you get the in there for it says month, MYY. Well, D's. That you, let's edit the field. Okay, so date. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. Codes, options. Let me pause this and then I'll come back. Or not. So according to here, it says add that code. So let's edit the field properties. Say, let's start over. Control plus F9. Control F9. Control 9. All right, now type in, or I can just copy and paste this. Close that parentheses. I mean that quotation mark. Let's see what happens. Update. 17th. All right, cool. So now we got that one figured out. Now let's see when we're gonna get the month. So to get the month, I do Control F9 and then date space backslash at, and I want the whole month. And so that will give me what? Backspace at. I guess 4. I do quotation mark. Right? Quotation mark. Quotation mark. I do that. Date backslash at month. Update. For learning. Edit field. No. Edit field. I guess I can edit it here. Month format. So if I want the entire one, I need 1, 2, 3, 4 these. Right. What do we want? Control F9. 8 space backslash at space quotation mark 4Ds quotation mark update field. All right, so that gave me the date. I don't want that. I want the month. Control F9. Backslash at space, quotation mark, quotation mark. June. Okay, cool. So now, so this, we copy that. I'm gonna cut it actually and bring it there. June, cut view, 17th day of June, comma, now the year. So I'm gonna control F9, 8 space, backslash at space, quotation mark, year. So probably 4 Ys, hopefully. Update. Period. All right, so now highlight it and you see that this the 17th day of June 2024. Let's get it to Time to Roman. Got it. All right, so now I got my date. Get rid of those. I don't need those anymore. This is the 17th day of whatever, June 2024. All of this. You'll see. Underscore control U for underline, /S /forwards. February. All right, now I'm gonna just pretend I have this stuff filled out. A few things. This took me a little bit to figure out. I don't want to have to figure that out again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a quick part. So I'm going to create insert table, just one. And remember, we don't want this table to show up. So right click on it, table properties, borders and shading, none. Okay. And okay. I'm going to copy just this date in here. That way, if I need to insert it later and somewhere else, I don't have to worry about doing that again. Select it. Up here where we did our shortcut at the top left, quick parts, drop down. Save selection to quick parts. I'm just going to put date. Now let's test it out. Date. Perfect. Now I'm going to redefine my signature. I'm going to get this the way I want it. This, let's move you over. Move you over a little bit. Move you over. I want y'all to be single spaced. And I want to remove space after that paragraph. All right, so by, oh, and I want to move this S over to here. Perfect. Now, insert me a table. I don't know if you have to do this. It just works better for me to keep the formatting, so I always do it. So I want to do table properties, borders and shading, none. Okay. Okay. Copy you in. You get what you want it because it's going to insert it the same way every time. So I want to put you back a little bit. That's spacing. Now we've got it the way we want it. Select it. Quick parts here. Remember, you can get here too, insert quick parts, but I'll just go ahead and save that as a shortcut because we're all about time. All right, so I want to save selection to quick parts gallery. I'm replacing this one so it's e-signature, and I think you have to name it exactly the same. E-signature. So I think if you, let's see, if I just name it e-signature without a capital, will it keep it? Will it recognize it? Yeah, okay. So it doesn't have to be exact, but it has to be the exact spelling. Now, test it. And automatically, see, it keeps that stuff automatically. So tomorrow it'll be the 18th and so forth. Okay. So cool. I just want to do that for you guys, and I'm gonna save this and figure out how to add it into that video.